and then I'm going to be heading out of here to go to somewhere else. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes and, a lot of comments about the debate with James Freeman and I wanted to just I wanted to go over that a little bit so that you guys understood exactly what you watched with Freeman and I, and the lack of true answers that James Freeman gave. Freeman is one of the old school OGs. He's been around for a very long time. Good to see you guys. Hit the number one button. Let me know where you're watching from. I do appreciate you coming by. Um, so, James Freeman is an old school OG. He has been around the scene for years and years. And Texas is in the house. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm pretty sure I was just on a phone call with Aaron Collins. We were talking about his case going on over there, Red Mountains, California. Rachel, good to see you. Nice to see everybody. How's you guys doing? Massachusetts, what's going on, Massachusetts? How are you guys? So, did anybody get a chance to see that debate that we did with that James Freeman I did the other day? And I didn't get a chance to watch the entire thing back, but I got a chance to watch back. Shauna's in the house, everybody. Thank you so much. On my way to Wisconsin. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. It's nice to see everybody today. It is so beautiful here in Youngstown, Ohio. It is absolutely beautiful here, and I've really enjoyed my time here. So this is a place that I want to come back to. I really have enjoyed this place. So did let me just ask you guys. Rachel, I only watched the first, 20 or 30 minutes, because as you guys know, I don't have time to watch my videos back. I'm immediately working on the next way to reach enough people that we can create a true movement to change the idea that we're going to ever have justice or truth or live under. Yeah, Shauna works as hard as I do. By the way, she puts in the same amount of 20-hour days, and she's got her own family and stuff. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the social contract so that you guys understand what the social contract actually is. Because a lot of people just don't, when I say social contract, they go, I'm lost. I don't know what you're talking about. So, the social contract, and let's just talk about it. Let's talk about it in the rawest forms, and then let's talk about it in application in today in the United States of America. So, way back before our country was formed, before our country really got any kind of foothold, there was a guy named John Locke who was born. And John Locke came up with a theory, and the theory was called natural law. And what natural law says is that every single human being alive, no matter what color your skin, whether you're born into royalty or not born into royalty, every single human is entitled to three basic factors of life. You're entitled to your life. You are entitled to live. You're entitled to breathe air and be a part of it. And then later you're going to have Descartes, who's going to say, I am, I therefore I exist. And that's going to be expanded and expanded and expanded. But let's just start at the very beginning. So back in 1632, before America was founded and before the United States, the 1776 Declaration of Independence happened, there was this guy. And he had watched the end of wars throughout the world. And I want to get just to the point here. I know a lot of stuff and I don't want to distract you guys. So anyway, John Locke writes this philosophy in two treatises of government in 1690 and Essays in Human Understanding in 1689. He wrote two books, and get this, he wrote the two treatises of government 7 years earlier in 1683. And then when he realized that the populace simply wouldn't understand this, he wrote Essays in Understanding Humanity and took 3 or 4 years to write that, and then published that in 1689, waited a year, and then published his two treatises of government. That's literally how John Locke wrote his books. He wrote the book, yeah, I'll be back in Ironton very shortly. I just don't want to announce my whereabouts and where I'm going because people troll me and follow me around. It's insane. You have no idea what my life is like. Literally, I'm being followed. It's the strangest thing. I can't understand it because I'm not a terrorist. I have no intentions to do anything violent to any government organization or to any other person, but I'm being followed. So now, but I want to stay really focused on this. So John Locke writes two treatises of government. And what two treatises of government states is that natural law, all three factors of you have a right to life, you have a right to be free of liberty, and you have a right to property. Those three factors, no matter what, you have those rights. Now, if you really study your right to life, liberty, and property, what you'll find is that the system itself of natural law, and I hear people will come in the comments and they'll go, let's go back to natural law. It would require more reading of Thomas Hobbes. Now, so throughout the history of time, philosophers write different forms of the social contract. Now, if you ever watched Brian over at High Impact Flicks, here's the deal. He produced a video where he talked about the social contract, and he presented Hobbes as the reason why the social contract isn't great. The problem with that is that Hobbes' social contract, which is going to be printed in Leviathan, it's going to be completely different than the social contract we live under. So let me just stay super focused so you guys can't get confused. So natural law, remember, by John Locke, life, liberty, property, you have those rights. But if we're talking about just me and you, and you live next door to me and you piss me off, I have the right to live and you're interfering on my life, so I'll just go and kill you. Literally, that's the natural law. When people say, let's go back to natural law, no, let's not. Let's use natural law and then make sure that we have a prophylactic over the top of it, something that makes it so it's tenable, so that it's acceptable inside of the United States. And so I'm jumping ahead a little bit because the United States hasn't been formed yet. So now you understand that, right? Everybody knows the three principles of natural law. Everybody know that? Everybody should be able to type those in there. When someone says natural law, you say that's life, liberty, and property, or liberty, life, property, because liberty is the number one principle of natural law. Liberty, including that you have a right to life, you have a right to be free and have a life. So that's the number one principle of John Locke's philosophy of natural law that you can read in two treatises of government published in 1690. In 1690. Okay. So now that you understand that basic part, right? So now there's another guy who's alive at the same time that John Locke is, and his name is Thomas Hobbes. And he takes a look at John Locke's theory of natural law, and he goes, life, liberty, and property, liberty, life, property, that's great. And he goes, however, the thing is that, and you've heard me say this, but you don't understand maybe why I said it. I give you a Latin quote called Bellium Omnium Contrarius Omnia, and that is written by Thomas Hobbes in his book Leviathan. And what that says is the social contract that Thomas Hobbes writes. He writes something called the nature of man, which is similar to John Locke's natural law. But Hobbes is more focused on humanity of the actual individual man. What kind of human beings are we? And so Thomas Hobbes writes a social contract that says that man is very rough. It's called Lockean theory, if you want to know. It's called Lockean. Lockean theory is John Locke's natural law. And then Thomas Hobbes writes this thing that says, look, since we all have the right to life, liberty, and property, that if we allow man absolute freedom, then what will happen is men will kill each other because we're all free, we're all equal. So if you and I just bump into each other in the road and we have a disagreement, I have as much right to life as you do. And now that you have slammed into me, then I feel like you're a danger to me, so I can kill you. I'm not kidding. It's that's the way. And Hobbes' belief, I've mentioned this several times, but it's important you guys understand this so you understand how badly James Freeman lost the debate the other day. And I really respect James, but when you're talking about a debate, it's supposed to be points for, points against. You know, did you prove your point? Did you go against your point? Did you articulate your point? Did you show how your points would work? Did you create a justification for the reason why you're saying the things you're saying? And I don't think that James Freeman did that. That doesn't mean James Freeman and I are enemies. We're not. I like James. I'm sure he probably likes me too. You know, if he does, cool. If he doesn't, okay. So now understanding this, right? Life, liberty, property, and then Thomas Hobbes writes a social contract. And what does Hobbes now a social contract, just so you know, is based off Hobbes' words, bellium omnium contra omnes, a war of all men against all other men. And what a social contract, what it actually means when you define it, the social contract means that we, all men, all free men, because we're all born free, life, liberty, and property, we all have the right to be free. However, if we're going to put a prophylactic over natural law, it's going to be the social contract, which is the rule of law. Now, there are multiple social contracts written by different philosophers. Now, the one that Brian talked about on Here's the Deal on High Impact Flicks, he talked about Thomas Hobbes' social contract that we don't live under. Well, let me give you the specifics of what Hobbes' social contract said. So if a social contract creates what's called the rule of law, then that would mean that since we all agree, now what is a social contract? A social contract is where you and I all agree to live under laws. Do we understand that? So when I say social contract, remember, it's a contract that we sign together, that you sign as a free person, and you say, I agree to drive 40 miles an hour down this road because that's what the speed limit says. I agree not to steal because it's against the social contract. I agree not to pillage, rape, and plunder your lands or your family because we agree to live under a contract that's social, under a social contract. So now do you understand? Life, liberty, and property, those are great factors, but it becomes very rough when you determine how greedy and aggressive and aggro man is. And so what happens is we say, okay, we're going to live under a social contract. Now, John Locke didn't just write natural law. He also wrote a social contract. The social contract that we all live under the rule of law. So did Jean-Jacques Rousseau. So did Kant. So there's just multiple people who wrote social contracts. Later, guess who will write a social contract? A guy named Karl Marx. You've heard of Marxism, socialism, right? You've heard of Marx. Has anybody heard of Marxism? Have you guys heard of Karl Marx, Marxism? That is a social contract. That's a structure of society that would make society tolerable so that we don't all kill each other. However, as you've seen throughout the history of time, Marxism, socialism, or communism, those almost always lead to a dictatorship who controls the goods of the state, and all of the goods in the country are ran by state organizations. And it always, throughout the history of time, Marxism has led to tyranny and massive dictatorships and corruption and death. I'm just showing you guys that throughout the history of time, lots of people have written social contracts. And now the problem with the idea of people saying that they want an anarchist system or they want a volunteer system, well, you can't argue the points of it because there's no points to argue. that I'm free. I can drive down this road at 50 if I want because I'm free. I can drive down this road at 60 if I want. I've signed no social contract. Volunteerism and anarchism is not a social contract. It's a way that you're allowed to do whatever the hell you want, whenever you want to do it. And then, of course, men will form juries and judges. And then the question is, do they have jurisdiction over you? And then can you deny the jurisdiction of those judges or those juries of your peers? And then if you deny them and they say, we're not going to listen to you, I don't have jurisdiction under you, then those group of men who are the jury or judges, what do? They hang you. They crucify you. I'm not kidding. That's been out throughout the history of time. Remember, we are the first and only country ever in the history of the world that we know of where it was democratic in any way. This is the only country, the first country, and still the only country that lives under a democratic republic or a constitutional republic or a federal republic, whatever terminology you want to use. But I want you guys to understand something here. So now we understand that there's multiple social contracts, right? I mean, I guarantee you that most people here are not for Marxism. They're not for communism. They're not for socialism. I know that most people here are that they're just not for it, right? I'm not for socialism or communism. I don't support socialism or communism. I believe you should be able to work hard, bear the fruits of your labor, and then you don't have to share them with everybody else because you worked your ass off. So now let's go back to where we were. So John Locke, the original OG mofo, right? He writes, the social contract means the idea that you and I adhere to a social contract, meaning a social contract is what? What is a social contract? It's rule of law. Write that down. Someone type it right in there. A social contract that we agree to means that we agree to live under a set of laws. That's all it means. It does not mean that people get to rule over you, no matter what people who don't know what they're talking about say. That is not what the social contract says. That is not what it says. That's not what a social contract is. A social contract is not, I agree to have rulers rule over me. That's not what it is. That's for people who haven't actually done the reading. If they haven't done the reading, then they think the social contract is, I don't submit to any man ruling over me. And you hear that all the time from people who haven't done the reading. They come and say things in here, but they haven't read The Social Contract by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Have you read Kant? Have you read Kant's social contract, K-A-N-T? Have you read his social contract? Have you read Hobbes' social contract? Have you read it? What about Montesquieu? Did Montesquieu write a social contract? And what did Montesquieu say? So just to be clear, I'm going super slow because, I have a little while when my clothes dry in the laundromat, and I wanted to take the time to truly explain to you guys so you'll be able to see that the debate with Mr. Freeman, as much as I respect the guy, he got shellacked because he didn't present his points as why a volunteerist or an anarchist society would work. He just didn't submit his points. He made fun of me, put a red herring across the trail dozens of times, built a few straw mans, but he didn't actually submit points that would back up anarchism or a volunteerist society. Because what that would mean, with those two systems, just so you know, you would have to agree that there is no social contract, that you are not beholden to anybody else in society but yourself. So just take those two words. It's a social contract. I agree to go to the club with you guys as long as you don't get in a fist fight, right? So there's rules. I want to go to the club. I got my club shirt on. I want to go to the club, and I go with these guys, and I set the rules before I get there. We all agree not to get in fist fights at the club because I want to meet a honey. I want to kiss some babe tonight. I want to get her number. I want to call her. Like, my whole goal is to go find a female companion. And so if you guys get in a fist fight because you're my bros, I'm going to back you up. So we all agree in advance that the rules are, the law is that we won't get in a fist fight at the club. Natural law already exists at the club. Everybody at the club already has the right to life, liberty, and property. Everybody there does. But the rules of the club are that the men in there have agreed that we're not going to fist fight each other. We're going to try to date these hot chicks. Is that an easier way to understand? Is that an easier way? Is that an easier way to understand it? I just want to, is that what it is? Does everybody understand that? Boop, 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 boop. You follow me? So now is everybody clear? So the rule of law, essentially, the social contract says that we just agree to live under laws. That's all it is. And what are those laws that we agree to live under? What are the laws that we all agree to live under? What are they? The laws that we all agree to live under are that we don't kill each other. And these go back to the Bible. The basic laws initially are still based on life, liberty, and property. They go back to the Bible or the Torah or the Quran. They go back to the basic essentials of humanity, which are what? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, right? These are, really the 10 commandments could be boiled down to 3 or 4. And then, honor thy father and thy mother. And so what do these things mean? What do these things mean? They mean that we agree that no matter how mad you make me, and just use the same club analogy, we're at the club, we agree that you're not going to lose your temper and knock the guy unconscious or punch him in the face because he's talking to the same girl you're talking to. We've agreed to a set of laws, because if we don't, she's a babe, I like her, he likes her, we're going to kill each other over this girl who's not interested in any of us, right? So there's the point. So, but the point is that we agree not to bash each other in the chin when we're all competitive for a mate. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. What does that mean exactly? What does that mean? Does anybody understand that? Does anybody understand what thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife? Does anybody know what that actually means? Can anybody tell me? Because it's important that you understand that. So when you agree to biblical terms, when you agree to the 10 commandments, essentially you are agreeing to a social contract. Yes. When you agree to live under God's laws of the Christian Bible, then you are agreeing to a social contract. Thou shalt not bear false witness. You're not going to lie. Thou shalt not steal. You agree you're not going to steal other people's stuff. So you're living under a set of laws that were written down in the Bible. You see? So the social contract is where you and I just agree that there's going to be a governing body, in this case it's the Bible, that's going to write out a set of rules that we all agree we're not going to break. You see? And so when you go into thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, what that's saying is that, now remember, the Bible's written thousands of years ago. And so what that's saying is that if I covet your wife, then I want your wife. And if I want your wife and we're still living in medieval times, then I'll just bash you on the head with a giant club, knock your brains out your ears, and I'll take your wife, and I'll take your daughter, and I'll take your son. And those are mine now, because the strongest rules when it's just natural law, Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse killed those people because the social contract was suspended. And when the social contract is suspended, when rule of law is suspended, we fall back to natural law, which is why Kyle Rittenhouse should have never had a trial. You can't try to take a man's life and he kills you and then there's a trial. No, he should have never had a trial. So now, do we understand that the social contract is just where men agree to live by a set of rules? Do we understand that? Because the person I was talking to, Mr. Freeman, the other day, he didn't seem to understand what the social contract actually is. The social contract is only that you agree and I agree we're not going to fist fight at the club. You're not going to covet my wife and come bonk me on the head. You're not going to steal. You're not going to lie. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. Who agrees with the commandment thou shalt not kill that's listed in the Bible? We all do. Everybody does. If you weren't a part of the social contract of the Bible, that thou shalt not kill, well then, you would be killing people. You'd be a murderer. You'd be BTK or Ted Bundy or Charles Manson, where the value of life doesn't have an actual, there's no value to life because you didn't agree to honor that life is sacred according to biblical teachings. You didn't agree to live under a social contract, and so you'll kill whoever you want. You didn't agree to live under the Bible, so you'll steal anytime you want. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. I never agreed to that. When did I agree to that? When did I agree that I wouldn't covet thy neighbor's wife? When did I agree I wouldn't steal? When did I agree I wouldn't lie? When did I agree I wouldn't worship any false gods, meaning money, sex, gambling, could be a variety of things. You know, thou shalt not have any gods before me. What that means, when you take that as a literal person, like I did when I read the Bible, you took it as like this: who's this arrogant SOB called God saying you can't have any gods besides me? The interpretation of that is that you wouldn't have any gods before the righteous path, before the holy path, before the Holy Spirit, essentially. Catholic school here, Catholic upbringing, altar boy. So I have a lot of understanding of Catholicism and Christianity. So now, does everybody here agree or disagree that the 10 Commandments are a social contract? Does anybody know that? Accountability for All's in the room, everybody. Make sure you guys follow his channel. Great friend of mine. I really appreciate everything we're doing together. Does everybody agree that the Bible itself, the 10 Commandments specifically, is a social contract? Anybody disagree with that? Yes, I agree. No, I disagree. Yes, I agree. Just those words so I can keep tally here of the 300 people. Yes, I agree, or no, I disagree. Just if you would please, just one or two words. Yes, the 10 Commandments are a social contract, or no, they're not a social contract. So that's what I want to know. Okay. It's not my Bible. I don't identify as being a Christian. I identify as being a God lover. Angry Fishing, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. So now people are mostly agreeing. Too many words, Mars. I couldn't read it all. Yes, yes, yes. So now, no, but no, Archangel for Truth. If it's not a social contract that you agree to, then why don't you kill people? Why don't you covet thy neighbor's wife? Listen, you can have your perspective about the Bible, but what I'm talking about here is the social contract that the Bible creates. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Christian to say that the 10 Commandments are a social contract. Okay? It is indeed a social contract. Indeed. When you read Trump's 1776, which was just dog shit if you have the education, it was just so bad. It was so bad. Okay, so now that's all it is. That's all. Now the social contract is called what? The rule of God's laws. Now you're really starting to put things together. I've been thinking about how to teach this to you guys for a long time, and I failed you. So now I think that you're finally getting it. So I don't want to get distracted by the comments. I'm just going to focus on you guys and pay attention here to what I'm teaching you. So now you agree that the 10 Commandments, if we all agree to live by those 10 Commandments, whether you're Christian or not, you don't have to be a Christian to agree that you shouldn't worship sex more than you worship life. You shouldn't worship money more than you worship your family and your friends and your community. The first love is God, which is human beings. God is love. You are love. You are an instrument of love. And so killing you or hurting you. Now, if we agree to that, if we agree that the Bible is a social contract, then it's not hard to understand the next phase. And the next phase is going to be the third philosophy of America, which is called checks and balances. We know about the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branches of government. We learned that in elementary school, that we had 3 branches of government and that they're supposed to perform checks and balances on each other. Right? Is that fair enough? Is that fair? Do we understand that? Are we all in the same understanding here? I want to make sure that we all understand. What's up, Playboy? What's up, Playboy? What's up, Playboy? So good to see you. Good to see everybody. Okay, cool. Cope Dog's in the house. Good to see everybody. So now, the Bible social contract. So now, what happens? Now, what's the actual history? What's the real history of our country? How did we get where you're born into a social contract? A lot of people will say things who haven't done the reading. They'll go, wait a minute. When did I agree to be born into this social contract to live under the rule of law? So social contract, the 10 Commandments, just means rule of law or rule of God. So social contract meaning government laws that were intended for the people, even though it's been bastardized, right? This rule of law, we agree to live under this rule of law. And so people will come in and go, I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to live under a social contract. Your parents did. Or you wouldn't have that teepee or hut or lean-to or building or shed or house or any of it. You wouldn't have any of it. If your parents hadn't agreed or your upbringing wasn't based in the roots of rule of law, then you wouldn't be where you are today. You wouldn't be. Because if there was no rule of law, I want a baby, but I don't have a baby. But you have a baby. I'm going to take your baby because I covet that baby. I want a baby and I don't have one. And since I don't subscribe to the rule of God's laws, and I don't subscribe to these social contract laws, I'm just going to take your baby. And someone will come and say, hey, you're violating that man's rights. Well, there's no rule of law, so you have to, might is right. You have to stop me. You have to stop me from taking your baby. Do you understand? When you wipe away the social contract, you wipe away humanity. It's just that simple. How many people here, and let's just take a vote. How many people here, of the 315 people here, how many people here would pay taxes voluntarily? Go ahead. Let me know. How many people would voluntarily pay taxes? Go ahead. How many people? Yes, I would voluntarily pay taxes. No, I would not voluntarily pay taxes. Just write it right down in there. Yes, I would voluntarily. We don't stop. Yes, I would voluntarily. Negative. No, no, yes, no. How many? Just let me know. Yes or no, I would not pay taxes. Yes, I would pay taxes. No, I would not pay taxes. Nope, nope, nope. Yes, we are all God's. That's not what I'm looking for. Yes, I would pay taxes. No, I would not. No taxes, never. No, 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 depends. Okay. So, now let's get into some American history. How did America, for a very short time, become the most powerful country in the world? How did we do that? How did we do it? How did we do it? How did we do it? How did we become, and even today, we're one of the most powerful countries on earth. We have the biggest military on earth. How did we become the most powerful country on the globe? How'd that happen? Taxes. Even back during the Revolutionary War, when we fought to gain our independence from England, how did we put together such a military, and how did we bring over the French? How did we do that? How did we do it? Let me ask you a question. So does everybody like the country? Does everybody like America, that we have these 48 continental states and then we have Alaska and Hawaii? Does everybody enjoy that we have from sea to shining sea? We have a whole country here. Does everybody understand that? Being wolves in sheep's clothing. I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm trying to ask you, I want to have a conversation with you guys. I want you guys to understand. So is everybody familiar with, so let's go just past the 10th Amendment, which is going to come in 1793. We're going to fight the Revolutionary War from 1776 to 1791, and then we're going to get our ish together by 1793. And so 1793, what happens 10 years after 1793? What happens in 1803? What happens in 1803? Can anybody tell me that? What happens? I mean, why is the year 1803 so significant? Why is it? How come? Why is it? Why is 1803 such a significant year in the history of America? If anybody can answer, I'd like that answer. 1803, here's what happened. Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Oh yeah, you guys hit your like button if you would. Everybody hit your like button. Make sure you subscribe. Okay, I'm not going to leave you guys in suspense all day. So remember, we get out of the Revolutionary War and get everything put together by 1793, not 1776. Everybody quotes 1776 as being the year that we got our independence. It's not true. 1776 is when all those men put their lives on the line to declare that the United States would be independent of England. The Declaration of Independence. We are declaring independence from the monarch. Okay? So now what happens? Thank you, Lackluster. God bless you, sir. In 1803, the Louisiana Purchase happens. Who does that? Thomas Jefferson. And then let me ask you a question. How did Thomas Jefferson do the Louisiana Purchase and buy another doubled the size of America? How did he do that? How did he buy it from the French? How did he buy it from the French? How did he do it? Everybody, Lackluster's in the room, one of my favorite channels on YouTube and has been for years. So how did he taxes? That's right, 15 million in taxes. So where did those tax dollars come from? From you, from the people. So that means that if we bought it for $15 million and we bought it using tax money, that means that the people of America, our forefathers, our grandparents and grandmothers, if you're, my generation goes all the way back. I have my family crest, goes all the way back to the Mayflower. I've already said this before, and people have said, oh, no, it's not true about you. I don't care what people think, but I'm just trying to say. So now in 1803, we bought Louisiana, which was really not Louisiana. It was a giant swath of America. Huge swath of America. Thomas Jefferson, James Polk, the two most successful presidents in U.S. history as far as expansion of imperialism to create a bigger United States of America. So then if we bought the big centerpiece of America with taxes, and if taxes are theft, well, then how'd that happen? How'd that happen? Do you think it was a good thing? Yes, it was good that we got the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, or no, it was bad. Which is it? Anybody? Anybody? Just let me know. Yes, the Louisiana Purchase was good, or no, it was bad. Just go ahead. We're going to talk about the Alamo in a minute, Cody. But tell me, yes, it was good, no, it was bad. Which is it? Was it good? Yes, it was good, or no, it was bad. Do you think that getting another doubling the size of America was a good thing or a bad thing? Do you think it was good or bad? Anybody think it was good or bad? Who thinks it was good? Who thinks it was bad? Anybody? I'm ready to hear from somebody that says yes, it was good, or no, it was bad. So it's good then. Is it good or bad? Good that we bought it, bad that we bought it. Bad, good. I'm not going to read that. Good or bad? Good that we bought it, or bad? Just tell me. I want to get a barometer for how well I'm explaining this to you guys, because I've been thinking about how to explain the social contract to you properly. Joe Cool's in the room, everybody. I love Joe Cool. I love the emails he sends. He sends really articulate emails. So it's good. So then everybody here, well, not the majority of people here, do the majority of people here agree that it's good? That it's good that he has a social that we bought Louisiana? Hey, and by the way, okay. Now, okay, I'm going to address this just for 2 seconds here, and then I'm going to get off of it. This land here in the United States has never been some settled territory. There were wars going on between native tribes right where I am, right here in Ohio, for a century before we got here. And they were killing each other, eating each other live sacrifices to the gods, chopping off heads. That's what was going on before America came here and took over. So you can slice it any way you want, but there was tons and tons of genocide between the different tribes that happened regularly for hundreds of years right here on this exact land. You know, you had the Aztecs and the conquistadors, and you had all of these people who were complete. And by the way, not that, remember what we did when we realized we were wiping out the entire Indian nation. We tried to preserve it. The good people said, wait a minute, you can't wipe them all out. Give them back some of their land. And then, of course, the government cheated them over and over and over. And that's all I'm going to address. And I'm going to keep going because I want to teach the social contract here today. So if the majority of people here said that the Louisiana Purchase was a good thing. If you disagree, tell me now. Tell me now. Yes, it was good. No, it was bad. Okay. So then if you agree that the Louisiana Purchase was good in 1803, then you're for taxes. Because we didn't fight the French, because to be honest, we probably couldn't have. They were so ingrained with us, we would have had to turn our back on our brother who helped us win independence from England. And still, we still had multiple battles with the French because they had their own ideas of imperialism here in the United States. And eventually, Napoleon was the one who said, let's sell it, dude. Okay, so we get there. So now, then, if you agree that, now let's jump forward. Let's go up to 1855. 1855. And what's going to happen? What happens in 1855? James Polk becomes president of the United States. James Polk is my top 3 favorite presidents of all time. And you may not know anything about him, but what James Polk does, and the federal taxes aren't going to come, and we're going to talk about that lackluster. The federal taxes aren't going to come until 1913 with the 16th Amendment, and that's where taxes are theft. However, the basic right to tax, both state and federally, in the 10th Amendment, what does James Polk do, everybody? Can anybody tell me what James Polk does? Does anybody here tell me what James Polk does? Anybody? Can anybody here tell me what James Polk does? Does anybody know what James Polk did? He was a polker. I need to go back to school. Okay, Terry, let me know when you're teaching classes and I'll come watch your channel, okay? Okay, Terry, you can say whatever you want. Let me know. There we go. The Louisiana Purchase was... So the Louisiana Purchase was bought with taxes, $15 million in taxes. This is a simple fact. Okay, so James Polk, what he's going to do when he's president, and he's a one-term president because he dies right after, and he should have ran for re-election, but he didn't, okay? And so what happens next? James Polk, what he does is he sends a guy named Zachary Taylor, and he goes all through Arizona, Nevada, California, and he wipes out the Native American tribes, and we take it. We take California, we take Arizona, we take Texas, we do all these things, and we take Texas by defeating Santana at the Alamo. I don't think he actually was succeeded at the Alamo. I think he was succeeded in Houston. I think that Santana actually gave up in Houston. That's why it's called. And the man who made him sign the contract was named Sam Houston. That's why when you go to Texas, you'll see great big monuments and statues erected to the guy named Sam Houston. Houston is the guy who beats a guy named Santana from Mexico, and then Polk takes over. But then, just so you know, we attack through California, through Arizona, and it's a slaughter. And then it takes a very short period of time. And then we go up to the Pacific Northwest, and James Polk, who has just watched Tyler walk through Texas, walk through Arizona, Nevada, Utah, and take over the Southwest, he says, I don't want to have another war. because the British are holding the Northwest and the Canadians are holding the Northwest, and I don't want to have another war. And so what James Polk says, what? I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy the Northwest. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to give the British some money, and I'm going to give the Canadians some money. And then you know what's going to happen? I'm going to create it so that America goes from New York to Washington, from California to Florida, and we are going to have an entire nation here, right? So now James Polk buys the Pacific Northwest with what kind of money? What kind of money? What kind of money does he use? What kind of money does he use? Anybody? Was it 1845? I'm sorry, I have dyslexia. I said 54, didn't I? Or yeah, I said 54. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I have dyslexia big time. One time I said the Louisiana Purchase happened in 1830 out loud. So I flipped the numbers. It was 1845, not 1845 to 1849 is when James Polk was president. So forgive me, I made an error. Can you believe that? I'm not perfect. So now he buys the Pacific Northwest with tax dollars. We have a country today because of tax dollars, because of the 10th Amendment's right to tax. And now so now who is for having a country? Anybody for having a country? I'm for having a country. Anybody for having a country? Is it anybody? Anybody for having a country? I'm all for a country. Is anybody for a country? I just need to know. Yes, I'm for a country. No, I don't want a country. Just let me know. Just let me know right here. Yes, I want the United States to be a country, or no, I don't want the United States to be a country. Can anybody let me know? Anybody let me know? Yes, I want a country. Yes, I want a country. Does anybody want a country? I want a country. I'm down for a country. I want a country here. I mean, I sound like a broken record, but I'm down for having a country. Okay. I don't answer questions. Best answer of the entire thing. Okay, so I want a country too, which is why I lean more conservative when it comes to some bigger issues like borders. We need to have a border. We need to have a strong border because what do taxes do? Just so you guys know, when you think about taxes, you think about it like this in this term. Okay, you have a neighborhood. You live in a neighborhood. And in your neighborhood, you have a community pool in your neighborhood. Does it make sense? So say that a bunch of blocks in an area have, in the middle of the 4 blocks, right? In the middle of the 4 blocks, you know what a city block looks like, right? So there's a city block here, a city block here, a city block here, a city block here. And then right in the middle is a giant swimming pool. And that swimming pool is there. Why? How come that swimming pool is there? The people of those 4 different blocks pooled their money together, taxes, to create the swimming pool full of magical, clean, beautiful water. So now the pool was paid for by taxes. We all understand that? This is all pretty easy stuff. Okay? And so now what happens when you take those 4 blocks of people and everybody goes to the pool? There's just enough room in the pool for the people who live on those 4 blocks because there's only so much water, right? And if all the kids from all the houses in those 4 blocks go to the pool, there's going to be maybe a wait for a minute to get in the pool because there's so many people, but there's just enough, right? Because all the people in that neighborhood, they all paid just a tiny bit of money each. They all chipped in to get this big Olympic-sized swimming pool. So when we don't have a border around those 4 different blocks with the pool in the middle, then people from over here come through the fence and they get in the pool, and that means that someone in those 4 blocks can no longer get in that crystal clear water and jump in the pool when it's hot outside. You see? And so that's why I'm for strong borders, because you paid for that pool with your tax dollars. The pool that you're getting in is paid for with taxes. So now you have a very rudimentary understanding of there's only so much water. There's only so much water. There's only so much water in the pool. Okay, you follow? Is everybody with me? Pretty simple. So now what those 4 blocks represent is our country. And the pool in the middle represents the tax dollars. You only have this amount of people here and you have this amount of tax dollars. So you want the money in the pool to go to the people who live in that community, because the people who paid in were the people who lived right there. That's the idea of a tax state. That's how it works. The internet, man, you guys are hilarious. You guys are absolutely hilarious. Okay, so now, so then who is for America as we have it? For the big state, we go from sea to shining sea. And you know, you say things like that. You say things like America has been breeding their own insurrections by 1871. Okay, okay. I don't typically go into these kinds of things, but I will. I'll dance down the road with you here. Okay, so in 1871 you have the Organic Act, and you have where the cities are going to become corporations, municipalities, and they're going to be based on money. I don't want to get too far off the social contract here, and that's going to take us too far off because it's going to go down a road of all kinds of different conspiracies, theories, and also some facts that are true that people don't know, but it's hard to explain that whole thing, and I'll do that on another talk. So now, it sounds like so far that the majority of people here are for having the pool, the border, and the majority of people here are for having a country that has been successfully taken by other people through domination and force. And so people are okay with that. Is that right? Is everybody here okay with how we got our country? Is everybody, because we got our country by the social contract. We don't have America without a social contract. And why am I saying that? Why am I saying that? How come it is? Why am I saying that we don't have a country without the social contract? Why am I saying that? You guys have been listening now for 52 minutes. Why am I saying that we don't have the United States of America as we know it without a social contract? Why am I saying that? Anybody? Does anybody understand why? I mean, you guys, listen to me. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. There are people who are here who are smarter than me. I guarantee it. So tell me why. How come we have a country? Because the social contract. You're on social. I saw your comment. Because of taxation. That's right. So then how were the people taxed? So let me tell you who got it. So Archangel for Truth said, because of taxation. Okay, but let's go back again. What years are we talking about? We're talking about 1803 and 1845. Sorry about that. I almost said 1854 again. We're talking about 1845. So how did all those taxes get raised? How did they get raised? How do we have enough money to buy the Pacific Northwest? How'd that happen? Can anybody tell me that? Can anybody tell me that? There were no cameras. There was no internet. There was no way to prove that you paid your taxes. There was tax collectors and things like that. But we have a country today because of the social contract. Because the taxes collected to the Louisiana Purchase in 1803 and then the Northwest Territory in 1847, 1848, the way that was done is through tax money. So, okay, so who paid those taxes? Who paid the taxes? The people did. The people. And so now when I say that we don't have a country without taxes, the only way taxes were paid was because people agreed to live by the rule of law. The rule of law is that you would pay taxes, but there was no internet. There was no way to check to make sure that you paid your taxes. So then that means that your parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and forefathers were willing to pay their fair share of taxes so that we could buy the Louisiana Purchase, so we could buy the Pacific Northwest. So that means that if your great 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 grandpa paid into his taxes, he did it by respecting the rule of law. Anybody? Anybody disagree? Did anybody disagree? I mean, so now you guys are starting to see. You're truly starting to see and understand what the social contract is. No, listen, taxes are not optional. But remember what I just said, Joe Cool. Remember what I just, and listen, it's not what I said. Listen to me. I am no authority on dictating things that I want to be true. I am not a dictator. I don't have the right to say, no, Joe Cool, this is the reason why. No. I'm just telling you straight up history here. Just straight history. So that means that the rule of law has been around and that the American people have respected the rule of law for the past 225 years that we know of. Is this correct or incorrect? Is this correct or incorrect? Ryan, however, the taxes were paid. The taxes to buy those different swaths of America were paid by your great great grandfather. They were paid. Am I wrong? Can anybody disagree with me? Didn't your great 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 grandfather and your great 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 grandmother, didn't they pay in for taxes? Yes or no? The taxes were not stolen. Everybody agreed to the 10th Amendment to be here. So this idea that you say, I'm not born into the social contract, I'm showing you, yes, you are. Yes, you are. And why are you born into the social contract? Because your great 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 grandfather, your great 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 grandmother, they paid into the social contract by paying their taxes and buying the properties so that your cousins, your great cousins, and your great uncles didn't have to die in war. Because back then it was only men going to war. Does anybody disagree? Does anybody disagree? Does anybody disagree? I just want to know. Anybody disagree? Did your grandparents pay taxes? Yes or no? Did your great 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 grandparents help buy the Louisiana Purchase? And did your great 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 grandparents help pay for the Pacific Northwest? Did anybody? So look, just take a look at this. I want you guys to look at the comment section. Look at the disagreements going on back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Without rule of law, it becomes a war of all men against all men. And I'm looking at the comments and they're zipping by. So that means that you were born into the social contract because your ancestors agreed to do it so that you could have a country where I could get in my car and just go, you know what? I'm just going to drive over to South Dakota. Why do we have South Dakota? Because your great 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 grandparents pay taxes for it. Why do we have California? Because your great 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 grandparents paid taxes for the war that took California, led by Zachary Taylor. Okay? Well, listen, if you're a first generation immigrant, then you don't have a right to say anything. I'm just kidding. Those are jokes. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just joking. I shouldn't joke like that because people will take a little clip of that and go, here's what he said. I'm totally kidding. You have a right to talk about what you want to happen in this country as well. I just thought it would be a funny get you moment. So, yeah, I got jokes. I was joking. I didn't mean to throw a joke in there. So, God bless you. I appreciate you being here, Patricia. So now, that's not what statism is. Truly minded, I'm afraid your definition of statism is incorrect. We all have to have the same definitions for the same things, or it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So your definition of statism is fundamentally incorrect. It's incorrect data. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Which is why I said that when I started this, the reason why I think that I shellacked James Freeman is because he couldn't stick up for his own points. He couldn't stick up for anarchy. He couldn't stick up for tyranny. I'm sorry, for volunteerism. He couldn't stick up for those. That was actually a Freudian slip. That was actually, but now how many people here are Christian? How many people here identify as being Christian? How many people here say that they're Christian? Most Christians are like, yes, I'm Christian, because they openly spread the word of Jesus. They spread the word of God. You know, oh, truly minded. You're welcome to think that, my friend. We just disagree. Did you learn anything, though? Have you learned anything today? Because if you learned something... Okay, so Stacy said Jesus Christ is Lord. I'm a Christian. Jokes, Joe Smooth. I'm a child of two... That's... Hey, how you doing, NY Chickie? Good to see you. So, well, you may like volunteerism, Ryan, but you can't actually argue the tenets of it. You can't actually argue the pillars of it, because volunteerism always boils down to violence, just like anarchy will always boil down to violence. You know? I don't think the poll showed who won. James Freeman has literally 10 times more subscribers than I do, so I don't think that's a fair way to measure it. Okay, so then do you agree to live under God's laws? Do you agree to live under the 10 commandments if you say you're a Christian? Do you? Do you agree that you will live under the commandments? Anybody? Okay, so NH Chickie said yes. So, well, then what you're saying right there, if you said government equals violence, then that means the Bible equals violence. Is that correct? Would that be a correct thing? Someone just typed in here that government equals violence. So I just want to know, does that mean that the Bible equals violence? And the answer is yes. The Bible equals violence. Yes, it does. And why does the Bible equal violence? How come? Life equals violence. It's so good. So good. Some of you guys are so sharp, man. It is crazy. I'm not bashing Mr. Freeman. I've said I have nothing but respect for the man. I think I beat him in a debate, but I'm not bashing that human being. You know, and a lot of people are going to go to him and say I've said bad things. People have already come to me and said, oh, James Freeman said bad things. Just stop it. I'm not on bad terms with James Freeman. I like him a lot. I still respect him. Matter of fact, I watched his video last night just to see what he had put out. Right. So if government equals violence, then Bible equals violence. Yes or no? Is that true or not? Now we're really getting into it. Now I'm doing laundry. Yeah, I'm at the laundromat. We are really getting into it. Now someone circle this square for me. If the government equals violence because you live under a social contract, then you must live under violence if you adhere to the principles and the teachings and the rules of the Bible. Yeah, James Freeman's awesome, man. I love that he took the time to debate me. I was actually really honored. So, you know, if anybody thinks I dislike James Freeman, you're dead wrong. I like James Freeman a lot. I think he's an awesome person. We disagree on the social contract, but that's okay. That's what I'm trying to show you guys. But, however, Sabias, you can say that the Bible is not God, and that's fine. But do you agree to live under the 10 commandments? Oh, Terry, come on. Come on. I'm going to put you in timeout one more time. Terry, next time I'll just say goodbye to you and you can go join other people's pages and give comments there. But I don't want to be, you don't have to talk to me the way you're doing it. I'm not talking to you that way. Can we try to be a little bit nicer to one another? You know, I mean, I have to deal with people on the phone who are total frauds all the time. So I would rather just when we have talks together. So, I mean, I'm just asking people who actually said that. If the government is violence because of the rule of law, because of the social contract, then that would mean that the Bible is violence because you have to agree to a social contract. Do you understand that? I know there's 330 people in here. There was less earlier when I gave you guys the Bible breakdown, but the social contract is based on you agreeing to live under a set of laws. The Bible creates the 10 Commandments, which makes you agree to live under the 10 Commandment laws or God's laws. And therefore, if you violate or break God's laws, then the system will always go to violence. Always. So the Bible's social contract is violence. Yes. Do you understand that? So that means that America's social contract is going to lead to some level of violence. You understand? Pretty close though, and New Hampshire Chickie, pretty close, pretty close. We're pretty close to spot on right here. Someone told me the other day that this is the sign of the devil. Okay, that's cool. Okay, okay. I mean, listen, you're allowed to come to your own Joe Schmo. I love you guys, man. I love you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. It is so fun to sit and listen to what you guys read what you guys say. There's New Hampshire guy says hello to New Hampshire Chickie. That's the white power sign. I'm not making any white power sign. I'm Colombian. Oh, Robert, come on, dude. Come on, brother. I'm just going to put you in timeout until you come back down to center and we can actually be friends again. I mean, it's incredible the amount of hatred I receive, and I don't understand it. all I really do is try to help people. So I don't know why so many people are mad at me. I don't get it, but it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, yeah. And by the way, the person who just said I read the original Bible in Hebrew, apparently the translation wasn't done properly. Apparently, according to what I'm being told. And so, oh, Spooge. I don't know. I don't know. Because, you know, which, by the way, we're going to have to do another fundraiser in the next couple weeks for Aaron Collins up there at Great Lake Audits up in Toledo, because as you guys saw yesterday, they tried to charge him with harassment and stalking, and that I was working as a conduit. You know, Renty Tap, we haven't had that too many harsh words, and I don't think I've ever put you in timeout, dude. Because, I mean, when I ask you to stop, I'm like, come on, man, take it easy. You typically do. I've never had a real bad back and forth with you. So so then let me ask you a question. Is the Bible, so if you believe in the Bible and you agree to live under God's laws of the 10 Commandments, are you a statist? If you agree to live under the 10 Commandments, the 10 Commandments are a social contract. The 10 Commandments are rule of law. If you agree to live under God's laws, under the social contract, then do you believe that you are a statist if you believe in following the laws of the Bible? No, listen, this is I've been thinking about how to do this, and this is the best way I came up with to explain to you that the 10 Commandments are a social contract. So Ryan, so you're saying that if you agree to live under God's laws, you're also a statist. Is that correct? Is that correct or not? Yes, that's... Who agrees? Who agrees? Just put it down like this. Yes, you're a statist if you agree to live under the Bible, or no, you're not. Oh, no, New Hampshire Chickie. Oh, no. No. The 10 Commandments, she wrote, no, they are guides. There's no immediate or long-term punishment for breaking them. I disagree, New Hampshire Chickie. And remember, I've read the Bible from cover to cover. I was an altar boy. So if you agree to live under God's laws, thou shalt not kill is pretty clear, New Hampshire Chickie. And there's only 2 sins in the Bible, if you've really studied it, that cannot be forgiven. And what are those 2 sins that cannot be forgiven? What are they? What's the sins that can't be forgiven? What are they? Listen, if you decide that you're going to kill people, a statist is someone who wants to give power to the government and take the rights away from the people. Okay, New Hampshire Chickie, I may have misunderstood. So are you a biblical statist if you agree to give the power to the establishment of clergy, of priests and nuns and all that? So you agree that if you live under the 10 commandments, that you live under that law of the 10 commandments, that you are a biblical statist and that you want to give the power of your life to the clergymen, to the priests. And by the way, this happened for centuries. This happened for centuries. The original social contract would be the Bible, not Thomas Hobbes. And then it was completely bastardized for a century. No, Terry, you're just being rude. I mean, you know, Terry, you're just being rude. You're not, I'm not banishing your free speech. I put you in timeout twice because you're just being mean and rude. I didn't kick you out of the room. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. There's 350 people here, and I'm having a conversation with Terry, and I'm asking you to lighten up, Francis. Take it easy. Anybody know what that line is from? You're a theist. Okay, so you're not a statist, you're a theist. So Lackluster says, it's an interesting question, but Satanism is a religion. I'm not sure if the other way around is true. Well, so Lackluster, what are the rules of the satanic cult? Aren't there a set of rules that you have to live under? So even Satanism would have a certain type of... Oh, statism is religion, not Satanism. Eek. Can you believe that? I made another mistake. I'm so sorry. I also messed up James Polk, 1845, 1854. I made another mistake. But isn't... Statism is not Satanism. So then the question I still have for you guys is, Satanism, since I made the mistake, Satanism would make it so that, is there a social contract in Satanism? There would be, right? There are rules that you agree to live under which create a social contract. I don't know anything about Satanism, so someone would have to educate me on it. We do see Satan. It would be a theist again. Is that correct, Terry? Oh, no, I'm not actually, Terry. I'm not religious at all. I'm not. But I think that would be a theist again. Wouldn't it, Archangel for Truth? Wouldn't Satanism, if you agree to live under the rules of the social contract of Satanism, wouldn't that be again a theist? Wouldn't it be a theist? Anybody? I just want to know what you guys think. Yes, if the rules are enforced with violence, yep. There we go. We agree. So now let me ask you guys a question, and this is going to challenge you a little bit. If you were alive back when America was first founded and your cousin had fought in the Revolutionary War, and then they said, hey, everybody's got to pay in some taxes so that we can make America stronger and we can do the Louisiana Purchase, right, in 1803. Would you have agreed to pay the money in? What if you were like James Madison, who went to war, was shot, almost died. They had to get the bleedings to stop in his shoulder, and if he hadn't got the bleeding to stop, then James Madison would have died. He'll later die to William Burr in a duel. But what I'm saying is, would you agree if your cousin or your brother or your uncle or your dad had gone to the Civil War, and then they said, hey, we all got to pay taxes so we can buy more land and buy a bigger America? Would you have agreed to the taxes? Yes or no? Yes, I would agree to pay taxes to buy Louisiana Purchase. Aaron Burr, did I say William Burr? Third mistake, guys. 3 mistakes over the past hour and 20 minutes. I must really be a bad person. I'm really a horrible person. I'm sorry, I'm working on it. I'm trying to be the best person I can, but the mistakes I make keep on dropping me down to the devil. So would you have paid taxes? Yes or no? If we were gonna toss him into the lake of fire. if Okay, Terry, I mean, whatever, Terry, whatever, man. I'm not gonna address you anymore. You're gonna just say mean things. Eventually, I'll block you because I don't want to be picked on. I don't want to be bullied just because I'm having a talk with people. I don't agree to be bullied. But what I'm saying is Civil War, North and South, where's the rule? So I would have agreed to pay taxes. I would have agreed that the 10th Amendment gives the state and the Fed the right to tax. Now, where does the government turn tyrannical? When does that happen? When does that happen? Can anybody tell me when that happens? What year does the government truly turn tyrannical? When does that happen? When does it happen? When does the government completely crap on natural law, the social contract or rule of law? 1913. Very good. Very good. 1913. That's right. 1913. And I mean, you could argue the Dred Scott holding of 1857, where they said a black man is property and he's not free. He doesn't have the same natural rights to life, liberty, and property. There's no protection under the law, under the social contract, and there's no checks and balances on power, because if there were, then we wouldn't allow a man to be said that he's a slave. When he goes to court, he's a piece of property. So now we can look at that. Right. So it's actually a World War I tax, not World War II, social isolation. Now, why is the 16th Amendment going to pass in the year 1913? Why does that happen? Why does that happen? Why does the government turn tyrannical in I mean, there's a few arguments for this, but the one I was looking for actually was 1913. So that's going to be Article 4, Section 3, Paragraph 2, that creates the 3/5 compromise, which is pretty disgusting. It's in our Constitution. But not Prohibition days, in 1913. And why is that? Snag Wolf got it. Income tax and land tax. That's right. So if you ask me if taxes are theft, I'll tell you yes. The 16th Amendment is the theft. But the 10th Amendment that creates a constitution, that creates our the foundation of America, it is not theft. If we don't have taxes, then there's no pool in the middle, in the center. You follow? Do you follow? I don't think so. James Freeman's no coward. If he wanted to come in here and talk trash, he simply would. He's the guy walks up to pigs and tells them to go fuck himself, you know? Okay. Okie dokie. Goodbye, my friend. There are other creators on YouTube who will allow you to harass them and talk trash to them. I was having a pretty nice day today, so I was trying to be kind. But I mean, I gave you 20 chances just to, you know what I'm saying? I tried, baby. I tried, man. You're acting nutty. What can I say? There's nothing I can do about it. So now I think that everybody has a better understanding of what the social contract is. I think that now that we've had this talk, everybody here is like, holy smokes. Now I know the social contract is just where I agree to live by a set of rules. And it's called rule of law, but it's just you agreeing to live under a set of laws. Okay? So now everybody understands what the social contract is. So next time someone says something stupid, you can say, you know, that's just not true. And, you know, by the way, Lackluster, if you're still in here, I did read your comments the other day. I would love to talk to you about what you think, about what you feel. Maybe Lackluster could articulate James Freeman's position better. Maybe Dale over there, because he has a Twitter account where he uses his real name. Maybe Lackluster can articulate his position for supporting volunteerism a little better than James did. Because, what did that? No, I did not. What did it say, random? Random videos, Struthers PD just posted on James Sheets. I can't wait to see that. We are on the same side, but there's not, just so you know, and here's another part of the social contract written by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Jean-Jacques Rousseau said that people should, wow, they released the body cam. I can't wait to see that. Well, so Mitten State, did you look up what a red herring is? Did you look it up? What's a red herring argumentative fallacy? Go ahead and type it. I think we are New Hampshire Chickie. I think most people are on the same side. I think most people want change. We just don't know how to do it. You know? So, you know, Mr. Lackluster, if you want to come on, you know, my channel or yours, and you want to talk about, if you want to talk about the social contract, and that's, it is, that's right. That's right. Then maybe Mr. Lackluster can articulate better what James Freeman could not, because I don't think Freeman actually answered the questions. Get your status corrected. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Mitten. But what it is where you just take someone. So then Tad, you're also for rule of law in the social contract then, right? Is that right? 333, make a wish, guys. Take your finger, go down, hit the like button. Take your finger right there, see my finger, and then reach down and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Reach down, hit the like button. Good to see everybody, by the way. Hit the number 1, let me know where you're from. There's, 330 people in here. Let me know where you guys are from. No, I don't, exit the mazes. One person, dude. I don't want to be on a panel. I don't do panels. You can ask Josh from Accountability for All. I don't do panels. It's not what I do. I'm not going to sit on a panel with people. I don't like it. I like to have a debate with people and be able to push back and forth with one person. Panels of debates to me are, it's just, well, Ryan, but you couldn't back up what you're saying. Ryan saying that volunteerism rules, he's not for rule of law, but you can't really back that up. Nobody can. There's not a person alive who can back up volunteerism or anarchy, because it'll always go to violence. Yeah, but how's Lackluster going to do in a debate where he has to answer hard questions that are going to be on the spot? It's going to be a lot harder. And don't get me wrong, Dale is a highly intelligent dude. He's not at all slow. So look, I think having debates on our side over here where we're all connected, I think at Cape Cod, Massachusetts, what's going on? That's right, Ted. Blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, that's an unforgivable sin. Yosemite. I don't know, Ryan. You need to make a video, brother. You need to make a video. If you can make a video that makes me change my mind, I'd love that. Oh, and you guys, I'm so sorry. Listen, I have a new channel. It's called Ninja and Chili. Did you know that? I have a new channel called Ninja and Chili. You guys look that up. It's Ninja, the and symbol, and then chili. And it's a chili pepper with a ninja. Did you guys hear that? So I have a new channel. I partnered with a guy named Ninja, and I have a new channel. Can someone find the channel? I don't know if you can find it or not, because we only have like 4 or 5 subscribers. I just started it last night. There's a new channel called Ninja and Chili. C-H-I-L-L-E. It's Ninja and C-H-I-L-L-E. Because we need to get subscribers. Oh, you're a subscriber to Ninja and Chili? That's great. That's great. That's super cool. You're not in timeout, Robert Christoph. You are not in timeout. Okay. Did anybody find the channel and someone could post the link for the channel? I got a new backup channel, a new partnership channel with a guy named Ninja. Did anybody find the channel Ninja and Chili? It's the and symbol. Can anybody post that link? Oh, that's not possible. The rule of law cannot be voluntary. It's a brand new channel, so it's going to be hard to find. It's a brand new channel. Oh, Mitten. I hate to... Mitten. Brother. Mitten. You're not going to come here and promote trolls, dude. I mean, I just got to let you know. Don't come here and promote troll channels. You can do whatever you want, but the picture is a ninja with a chili pepper behind the ninja. It's a circle with the ninja being in the middle and then a chili pepper around it. I wish I had it, but I don't have it with me. Rule of law is going to be, it'll be implemented. Oh, do you have it, Tommy? Do you got it, Tommy? Do you have the channel? Tommy said he has the channel, so I add him as a moderator. Put the link if you would, please, Tommy. I appreciate that. Hey, Butch, just if you think I'm squashing free speech, man, feel free to go to another channel. I don't care about subscriptions or likes or any of that stuff. I don't care. So do whatever you want, dude, but you're not going to harass me and hound me. You know, it's not how it's going to go. I don't have to be hounded by you just because I have a YouTube channel. You don't have to. There it is right there, guys. Tommy Wood just put on the there it is right there. That's the new channel, Ninja and Chili. I would click on it, but if I do, it'll turn off my live. It's so strange. It is so strange. Mike B was unhidden. Thank you, Tommy Wood. Thank you. So Tommy, I've never seen you in the chat before. Is it your first time here? Butch, come on, dude. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Come on, Butch. I mean, come on, man. I don't know you, man. We don't know each other. I've never interacted with you. I've never seen you on the channel before, dude. I don't know you. Like, I don't have to just be trolled by a stranger I don't know. We have not. I owe you no bond, you know. Thank you, you guys. 18th subscriber. You guys drop it in there a couple more times if you would, Tommy. There's no videos up. There's going to be a video up. I want some ice cream too. Just people think that they can come to your channel and they can just be mean to you and say mean things to you, and it's like, that's not free speech. You're just being mean. You're just being mean. Yep. I do chocolate. I'm sorry, Tommy. I just haven't seen your thing. There's the new channel, guys. If everybody will subscribe to the new channel, Ninja and Chili, that's coming out. That's coming out. We got a video coming up tonight. Thanks up. I appreciate that, Tommy Wood. Thanks a lot. Yep, I'm gone, Dan. I got to go to another part of Ohio. I'm gonna come back to Youngstown, Struthers. I just got to go somewhere else today. Did you guys see the vegan thing where the guy glued his hand to the counter because he had to pay extra for vegan milk? If there's a thing like vegan milk. Crazy Frenchman 205. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I have actually thought about buying a camper. It might make things a lot easier, but at the same time, yeah, but you don't have to be mean, dude. You don't have to be mean. I believe it is News Now Ninja. I believe it is. I believe News Now Ninja and I have done a channel together, and we're gonna, yeah, you guys pop over there if you would, please, and subscribe to that new channel called Ninja and Chili. And I did the graphics last night, and he's doing the intro today. So, you know, I'm going on like 1 hour of sleep. So if I seem tired or delirious or anything, I am. I am tired. I am delirious. I am delirious. That's for sure. Soy boys. Ryan, I'm an activist. I don't really call myself an auditor, although I have said I'm an auditor before. I see myself as more than just an auditor. I see myself as more than just that. I do appreciate what auditors do. I do appreciate the First Amendment community. Yeah, a guy glued to his hand to a Starbucks, and they had to get a special thing. He's a real famous actor too. Oh, thank you so much, Gloria. I appreciate it. Sub number 70. I wonder if we can get to 100 subs over there on Ninja and Chili. If you guys could, please. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here in a few minutes, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody had everything covered. I think this was the best video that I've ever done when I'm able to explain the social contract in a more complete way. And so then I didn't get into everything, but there Tommy Wood is putting up the new channel. Chuck P, I got a new channel, buddy. Good to see you. Chuck P, nice to see you, brother. I got a new channel, Chuck, and I just put it in the thing. And so this was a really great conversation today. I'm going on almost no sleep. I may have to go take a nap before I drive out of here, but now he's a famous dummy. Yeah. Yeah, I really like News Now Ninja, and so we did start a channel together where we've worked out our parameters and how we're doing it. And News Now Ninja is one heck of a good guy. He really is. He's one heck of a good dude. Yeah, I'm going to have to take a power nap. It's only 3 o'clock now, and I was going to pull out of town sometime tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know what you mean, then you ruined it. I'm not sure what that means exactly. So I'm not looking to have a battle with anybody today. I'm just kind of catching my breath here. There it is. I think it's actually Ninja and Chili, because I just, it is what it is. I don't really care. So it's Ninja and Chili. You know, that's the name of the channel. I'm going to have the app screens done in the next couple days. Someone contacted me. I was still looking for someone who builds app screens. I'm still looking for that person. So if anybody knows someone who builds app screens, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, Chuck just started it last night. Just got it together last night. Ninja and I just worked out the details of it yesterday. So now we've agreed on what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And now we're moving forward. Yeah, this channel is about changing the game. That's right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, did you know that Al Capone had a lot to do with the pasteurization of milk? Al Capone would have been part of the alcohol gangs. When did he go to prison? I'm exhausted. I'm not going to get it. I'm exhausted. Yeah, oh man, Mitten. Mitten is no moss. I'm gonna miss you, Mitten. I'm gonna miss your face. No, I won't. I told you how I am, and I blocked you. Sorry. I told you the way I am. I told you how I am. I don't deviate. I'm pretty direct with how I am. Okay. Actually, Brian and I have Ryan, just so you know, Brian and I have a debate a couple times a week on the phone. Brian from Here's the Deal. The last week we've had a few long conversations about you know why, just so you know, Mr. Kaizoftov, the reason why I sometimes get distracted by trolls is because I'm a fighter, and when someone takes me on, I just want to fight them. And you can't fight everybody physically, but I want to fight them mentally, and that's just how I feel. So I do apologize. You know, sometimes I get a little distracted. I don't like being attacked and then not fighting back. You become a member by getting a badge. Just hit the join button right below. There should be a join button right down there. Look for the join button, and then you become a Delete Laws member. I know it. I'm trying not to, but I'm a fighter, man. Someone punches me, I want to punch them back. I can't help it. When someone hits me in the chops, I want to hit them back. So that's just how I am. So yeah, make sure you guys join the new channel, Ninja and Chili. Yeah, join the membership. Thank you a lot, Tommy. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys, let's get more likes than we have people in the room. We have 282 likes, and we have 294 people here. So that means we need to get 10 people to hit the like button. 10 people need to take your finger and hit the like button, if you would, please. Hit the like button. I don't want to debate people from opposing views, because then I'm giving them light and attention, and I don't want to give them attention or light. You understand what I'm saying, Hoyt? A lot of people, there we go, we just jumped over it. We jumped over the likes, over the, no, the officer from Huntington never did call me. Never did call me. He never did call me. I was hoping he would give me a call. We're going to creep over 300 likes here in a second. You're good, Critical. You're good, man. I'm actually starting to have a lot of fun with little groups of people. It's really getting fun because we're really starting to learn together, and that's just so cool. That is so cool. No, I got to go in there. DS Decoy, what's up, Decoy? I got to go in there and get my clothes. I guess we can go together. Let me go in there and grab them, and then I can get the flock out of here. Gotcha, bro.
Thanks, man.
Hey, go ahead. Thank you. Yep. There it is.
Welcome. It's time to see which chew is best in show for long-lasting flea and tick protection. We may be here for weeks or even months.
Okay. So just so you guys know, and I'll just say this one more time, I got nothing but respect for James Freeman. We don't agree. We don't agree on the social contract. We don't agree on how the structure of our country should be set up. But as far as my respect for that man, I definitely have that man, top notch. He's a trailblazer. He's the reason why we're able to do the things we're able to do. He's what I followed for years, and he's the one that showed me some things that I needed to learn about how to interact with these filthy, nasty pigs. So, James Freeman, you're the man, dude. We agree to disagree, but I got nothing but respect for that guy. I think I beat him in a debate because he didn't prove his points, but that doesn't mean that I all of a sudden don't like him. And I don't think that James Freeman dislikes me either, but you never know. You never know. I got all kinds of people that don't like me. So, would it be a shocker? No. Would I be disappointed? I mean, sure, someone that you really look up to and then they don't like you for whatever reason. Sure, that would hurt my feelings a little bit, for sure. That would make me feel a certain way. But I don't believe that James Freeman doesn't like me. I think that we just have a difference of opinion, and I don't think that he takes it personal because he knows that I don't have any power without you guys agreeing with my point of view and then me getting executive power because I have the ability to do that. And I've also thought about this too. I'm from Alaska. Did you guys know that? I was raised in Alaska. I have roots in Alaska going way deep. I really hope the people of Ironton really show up and show out when I get back, which is going to be, I really hope the people of Ironton show up when I get back for events that we try to take this disgusting corruption down. I hope that more people show up. I'll be back sooner than next Thursday. I'll be back sooner than that. I just don't want to announce my schedule because because of the stalkers. Right now, Tommy Wood is posting the new channel that I started with Ninja. It's called Ninja and Chili. If you guys would please go subscribe to Ninja and Chili. I got to get a backup channel created in case all of a sudden one of my channel gets deleted. There it is right there. Crow Punks NFT, just put it in there. I have real stalkers. I have legitimate stalkers. It's pretty crazy. I have the Toledo Police Department followed me around. Just so you guys know, and I'm not trying to be an alarmist or anything, but someone followed me last night. 2 different cars followed me last night. and I actually confronted them. As you guys know, I always have a weapon in my car, in my lockbox. So, I'm always armed, and 100 subs, right on, man. I'm so grateful. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And then I'll have accountability for all, and maybe my friends who have bigger channels, maybe promote the new channel. Wow, you dodged a bullet there, man. The police state where Ironton is, where we live, is really bad. Really bad. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't help you. I'm not an attorney. I don't have the right to practice law according to having to have an attorney. Anyway, listen, I'm going to get the flock out of here, guys. Thank you guys for coming. Do me a favor, share this video. When I leave here, I can't wait to go see the Struthers body cam. I cannot wait. They had to release it, so I'm going to go look at Is that on their Facebook page, by the way? Did the Struthers Police Department put that on their Facebook page? Is that where I can find that? That's the new channel, Ninja and Chili, if you guys are subscribed to that. Is that where the Struthers Police Department put their body cam footage, was on Facebook, or is it on YouTube? Does anybody know where it is? Does anybody know where it is? Smoke weed every day. Tommy, I welcome you to the moderation crew. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, they really do. I was trailed last night. I mean, I'll put the video up. I'll show it. I confronted the guy, and when he slowed down, I thought, and then I'll tell you guys another story, just not right now. So anyway, all right. I'll get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming by, guys. Just remember one thing, that under any circumstances, no matter what occurs, we do not stop. We don't stop under any situation, under being trailed, being tailed, people hating you, making videos about you. It doesn't matter. We don't stop until we change this bullshit tyrannical system. We change the system, and we don't stop. Don't stop. Aaron Collins, I'm going to help you all the way to the end, brother. I'm going to help you all the way to the end, Aaron. Everybody here right now, 250 people left in the room. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going to help Aaron Collins all the way to the end of his case. I'm going to help him all the way until it's done, because what they did to him was atrocious, and you guys can let Aaron Collins know. Pop over to Great Lake Audits, tell him Chili sent you, and that I said out loud on this live, I won't leave him until the case is over. I'm going to help him all the way. It's Great Lake Audits. Pop over there if you would, please, when we get off here. Go tell Aaron that I'm going to be with him the whole way. We don't stop. We don't stop. Thanks for your participation. I appreciate it, guys. Nothing but love. God bless you. God bless the United States. And we'll never stop until we change this, until we change it. All right. Bye, guys.